Denver's at Kansas City, and I make fun of them every week and how bad they are. And Brandon Marshall is just a monster receiver, so he's going to have a nice week. My dud, I'm going to say Adrian Peterson. And, reason being he's a little dinged up, and they have a tough matchup. They're at Tennessee, who's just a really, really physical defense that will probably beat him up quite a bit. I don't think he'll see as many touches as usual, so I'm going to call him a dud, even though he may still go for 100 with a score. And my sleeper, I like Tim Hightower. Nobody really talks much about this kid, but he gets all the goal line carries in Arizona. And against the New York Jets this week, he might punch another one in or two.
Don't you think that they're kind of, not slowly, more phasing out Edgerrin James?
Absolutely.
That's a good play, because I think Arizona is slowly but surely telling Edge, hey, been nice, don't need you anymore. The Hightower kid's really dynamite.
Absolutely.
Edge has heard that somewhere before. Didn't Indianapolis kind of do that too?
Yeah, same situation. Say, thanks for the memories, but we don't need you anymore.
529-1450 is the phone number. All right, here's my studs, duds, and sleepers. My stud, again, not very fair. I had Trent Edwards down. That's what I wrote down first. But I know they're playing the Rams, so I'll change that. I'll say Phillip Rivers, but I guess that's not fair either, playing Oakland. But I got to do something, right? My fantasy team doesn't win. I got to have my studs do something. My dud, going along the same line as Eric. I mean, I didn't say AP because he's on my roster, which is, again, bad news for me. But I put Minnesota quarterbacks. Whoever they go with, if they go Jackson or Farrat, I think either one's going to be beat up a lot by the Tennessee Titans this week, at home, too, for Tennessee, looking to go 4-0. And my sleeper, I put down Rashard Mendenhall, kind of a homer pick, but he's going to get some carries. They got to do something with that offense, especially if Big Ben doesn't play. Parker's not playing, so someone's got to carry the load.
That Baltimore defense is so tough, though. And for a guy,
you're going to have to do something.
For a guy making his first start, I think Mendenhall's in trouble.
Mendenhall may not get many yards, but if they get down by the goal line, there's a chance that he'll pop one in for a score. That's where I can see where he might be productive, but I don't think he's going to go for a lot of yardage.
Or, as Nick Raley said, there's a chance Ray Lewis pops his head off.
Seriously. Which would be great.
One of the two.
I'm calling it. I swear, if we come in here next week and Rashard Mendenhall does not have a head, each of you owe me something.
Just think of the ratings.
That sounds great.
Just think of the ratings should he lose his head. My goodness, I'd just be off the charts. But, yeah, if you're right and you come back, the breakfast, by all means, is yours.
Man, how bad am I going to feel, though, if he actually does, lose his head?
I know. I
in some freak accident.
No one really hopes for decapitation.
No. Another sleeper, though, too, out there, who we've mentioned before with the injuries to Fargas and McFadden. Michael Bush might be another sleeper pick this week. Oakland, again, same situation. They're going to have to do something as far as moving the ball with that offense, and they just aren't very good on offense. So Michael Bush might not be another bad play. Let's go back to some of the tight ends, though. Let's come up with a couple more sleepers out there for the people that are on buys or injuries. Again, Dallas Clark on a bye this week. A couple other big tight ends on buys this week. Kevin Boss on a bye this week. You have the Patriots tight end. Benjamin Watson just came back. He's on a bye this week. So tight ends, last week we said they're a dime a dozen, but there's also not a whole lot available out there either.
And not a lot of production from tight ends this year, really, top to bottom. They're not really scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like my tight ends have been on bye weeks since the season started, so got a call.
529-1450 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 101.
Yeah, I got a question. I got 3 running backs to choose from, and I can only play 2. Felix Jones, Jamal Lewis, or Clinton Portis, and I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thank you for the call. 529-1450 is the phone number. 529-1450. Sounds like not a bad problem to have for that guy.
I almost picked Felix Jones as my sleeper for this week. I really like what I've seen from him this year, so I put him in. I put him in for sure.
He's got such great big play potential. You've just almost got to put him in. Jamal Lewis, we talked about that earlier. I'm not a big Jamal Lewis fan. He's got a decent matchup, though, against Cincinnati, so it might not be him. His third choice was who? I'm sorry.
It was Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis is I've seen a couple of my lists, so, I've almost got to play him. So I'd go with Portis and Felix Jones, but Lewis wouldn't be bad.
Go ahead.
Apologize. The Cincinnati last week played the Giants really tough. I'm a little worried that this isn't going to be the shootout game that it was last year, and that Cincinnati may just come and beat up on Cleveland. I'm with you, Mark. I'm not big on Jamal Lewis this year at all. I like Jones and Portis.
One of my problems is, though, and this happens to me every week, is when you have guys in the same game, and you have to pick one or the other, and he's got Jones and Portis in the same game because Washington's playing Dallas this week. So it's a tough call. I think Portis is going to get the ball more in that football game. But like you said, Mark, Jones has that big play potential and could get you some big points.
Yeah, absolutely.
529-1450 is the phone number. You're listening to Fantasy Football 101 on Sports Radio 1450. Adam Stark alongside Eric Pedigo, Mark Graham, and Nick Orelli taking your phone calls here at 529-1450. We're here every week from 8 until 9 and on the webpage at sportsradio1450.com. We appreciate all of you listening in. Mark?
Yes, there was one thing you were talking about tight ends earlier, and I wanted to get this in. A couple guys you might look at, Zach Miller from Oakland, and then the Minnesota tight end, and you guys are going to have to help me with pronunciation here, Vincente. Thank you very much. I tell you what, he looks like a real nice sleeper, and he's in a lot of Yahoo leagues as a free agent, so if you're looking for one, that would be an option.
Speaking of hard names to pronounce, who's the backup for the Saints now that Shockey's out? Isn't the former guy from the Rams? Manu Maliuna?
I'm not even
Manu Maliuna. Brandon Manu Maliuna.
Hey. I believe he is, so that might not be a bad pickup either because, Breeze is going to try to get the ball down.
Yeah, good idea there. And, boy, you got that out good, Nick, really. We'll keep him around for pronunciation alone.
No, I'm telling you, man. I'm Wikipedia sitting over here. That's what you guys can call me from now on.
Nickopedia.
Nice.
I like that.
So, do you play any Rams at this point in the season?
No.
Do you play any Raiders really?
I'd have more at ease playing Raiders than I would Rams at this point in time.
Easy.
I mean, McFadden, I like Bush. The Rams just are awful. I just don't know what to say there. You got Holt, who, I don't know, he may not get to 50 catches this season. Jackson, all he's doing is moaning and whining now. And like you said earlier, he's got himself to blame for not coming in. Now they got a problem with the coach. I just can't start the Rams. They have to show me something before I even plug any of those guys in.
Yeah, I wouldn't play a single one of them. There's no...
And it's sad because these guys, like you're talking about a guy like Torrey Holt or a guy like Steven Jackson, these are guys who are, talent-wise, some of the best in the league. And
even Bolger was.
Even Mark Bolger, absolutely. And I think Steven Jackson is a top 5 guy, a talent guy, running back. And it's just sad to see. It's really sad as a football
It's hard
fan.
right now to be a football fan and live in Missouri.
It's
like if you live right between, you're like, okay, lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Tigers could beat the Rams and the Chiefs.
Oh, my God, combined.
529-1450 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 101. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, turn your radio down,
guys,
please.
I'm in a 14-team league. My top 2 draft picks were Westbrook and Parker. I do have Buckholder handcuffed. Now I need one starting running back out of these next 3. Chester Taylor, Ricky Williams, and I picked up LaRon McClain. Is that right?
Yeah, for Baltimore.
Yeah.
He's
tough.
Yeah, it is. But McClain would be someone around the goal line who would get touches. I think he'd be real good in a touchdown-only league. Buckhalter's a good pickup. Chester Taylor, you know what? Chester Taylor might get some carries with with AP being a little bit dinged up. They may just go to Chester Taylor a little bit more. So, I mean, Taylor may not be a bad pickup or a play here at all.
I don't see Ricky Williams having a big week, though.
Right.
Because he's
I agree with
that.
Yeah.
You guys know anything about this McClain guy? I mean, I just got on and saw where he's actually done some things for Baltimore. I don't really know anything about him.
He's a big boy. I mean, he really is. He's a strong runner, and Baltimore likes him a lot. And like I said, he's going to see a lot of carries around the goal line just for being the kind of running back he is. So, he's a good running back. There's no question about it. And like I said, TD only league, a nice play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I say, it's tough. It's tough because there's not much out there at this point. Like I say, especially in a 14-team league.
Sure. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Appreciate
Thanks,
the
man.
phone call, 529-1450. But I